us now with a member of the German parliament from the AfD party. There is Dr. Rainer Rothfuß now joining us here on RT International. Appreciate you sharing your Saturday with us here in Moscow. Thank you, Doctor, for your time today.
It's my pleasure.
So on one of the holiest days of the year, an archbishop from the Orthodox Church in Moldova was barred from going on a religious pilgrimage. I know you know the story. Essentially, the airport, the politicians, they stopped him twice in 2 days. They did exactly the same trick twice. Your thoughts on this? It's become quite a scandal. A lot of people are reacting to this story. What's your thought, Doctor?
Well, my first question is, who is behind that? If it's just the Moldovan government, it's bad enough. But if we look at Brussels, we should see condemnations of such acts. And I haven't heard of it so far, only from Moscow. So behind the scenes, I think, the aspirations are going in that direction, that Orthodox Christians shall feel discriminated. Tensions shall be raised between those groups of believers who belong together, who believe in the same message of Jesus Christ, of Easter, and that makes it even worse. We have laws in Europe to protect minorities. And where are those laws now? To me, it seems like being an act of hybrid warfare. But of course, the EU only points towards Russia when they take this term into their mouths. But this is humiliation. This is deliberately igniting tensions between groups of believers who should make an effort to ease tensions, to find a common ground for understanding. As long as politicians seem to fail, it's the spiritual leaders who have that task.
Yeah, it's a good comment there, Doctor. I mean, you know, talk about divide and conquer and causing an uproar among the local public. You got to wonder what these politicians are thinking, or have they been kind of caught up in this without even knowing? Because the people are going to be pissed off with the politicians, no doubt about it. Meantime, Doctor, we saw pretty similar suppression of the Orthodox Church in Ukraine. In fact, much harder. Do you think Moldova in some way is following in Kiev's footsteps here?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the same pattern of action, and it's also in conformity with the EU agenda. Everything being Orthodox, being Russian, shall be sidelined, shall be pushed out, shall be painted as being the other, the dangerous other. And that, of course, follows just a geopolitical agenda. The EU seems to be so weak in its uniting idea that it always needs an enemy threatening the EU from outside so they can force people together, weld them together. But this is really poor action.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, look, Kiev, for example, tried to justify its crackdown on the Ukrainian Orthodox Church linked to Moscow by accusing it of being a tool of Russian influence. And now we're perhaps seeing something rooted in geopolitics happening in Moldova too. But, you know, considering Moldova's European Union ambitions, do you think we're going to be hearing any reaction from Brussels about this? In the meantime, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, and I think it will be kept under the radar because it contradicts the values of the European Union that have been upheld for so many decades and that the European Union was always proud of. But we have seen the same problem in the Baltic countries, where Russian language-speaking citizens have also been barred from certain civil rights, citizen rights. They have been granted only non-citizen passports. Where was the outcry of the European Union there? Those governments were never criticized for such a behavior. So it's blatant double standard policies.
Yeah, and last question, Doctor. I'll let you get out of here on this. I get the political side of it, but what about, you know, the mainstream Western press, the legacy media? Why is the Western press not even talking about this with this Archbishop from Moldova?
Well, it does not seem into their narrative that the West is the good and Russia is the bad guy. And therefore, they just do not bring it. They could wake people up, and that's not their intention, at least officially.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's a solid comment to wrap up our conversation here with Dr. Rainer Rothfuß, a German parliament member from the AfD party, making big strides in the world today. If indeed the AfD will be allowed to continue making big strides. Dr. Rainer Rothfuß, a big fan of your work, wishing you the best of luck. Thanks for your time.